the beak, I'm using a French ultramarine and lamp black, using my Cotman Series 00 brush. I'm trying to work out where all the details go within the beak, like the nostril of the beak and the joints of the beak as well. The full version of this one is on my Patreon channel, so pop along and have a look at that one. Other than that, there's lots of other videos, tips and tricks ready and waiting just for you. Then I'll put a highlight in the eye. This is going to be cerulean blue, just so we've got something to kind of work on top of. So kind of working with the foundations for the eye. A little bit of kind of lamp black in there as well. Mainly to the centre of the eye, but you can pull some of the paint off as well when you've got that on there. So now I'm going to work on the chest. It's going to be a mixture of kind of lemon yellow, cadmium orange, pulling off some of the paint with a damp, clean, thirsty brush, and then softening around the bottom edges as I go around. Now for the back of the bird. Now we're going to use raw sienna on this one. Now raw sienna is a lovely colour for a robin as well. So you need to wet it thoroughly first, and then once it's nice and wet, drop in the raw sienna colour over the top. And kind of put it on evenly to begin with, avoiding parts of that where the eye is, around the top of the eye, and then bringing it all the way down to the bottom of the beak. Now you can see what I've done there as well. Now I'm going to work on the details on the chest. So this is working with cadmium orange and a little bit of scarlet lake, just a touch of burnt umber and a 00 brush. Then lightly soften it down with a damp, clean brush. Now then, here we go, yellow ochre and raw sienna. And I'm going to work on the back. This is where we'll do all the kind of intricate feather details using my 00 brush. So working on it, look in the direction of the lines that they've got to go in. So this will be the first layer to go on there. There are other layers to go over the top, as per usual as well. But look at the directions where the feathers go. You've constantly got to look at that whilst you're doing the painting. So working my way down all the way to the bottom, I'm going to soften it down again with a clean damp brush. Back to the chest, here we go again. So cadmium orange and scarlet lake, a little bit of burnt umber in there as well. Lemon yellow as well on the top, just kind of bring out the colours a little bit more. So kind of intensifying those details on the top there, just on the chest. Again, look at the directions. So burnt sienna, burnt umber. This is going to be for the second layer of detail over the back and the head of the bird. Now remember that the first layer is nice and dry, which is so important. You've got to keep them layers nice and dry on there. Work on the details, again, looking at the direction that the lines are going to go in, just using the lightest touch of your brush. Also, you've got to remember as well that some of the areas are darker than others, so you've got to look at that whilst you're doing the painting. So as you can see, that's my palette of colours, working on that. So lamp black, French ultramarine and burnt umber, and this is going to be the third layer of detail over the top of the head. And a little bit around kind of the back of the eye, looking at where the darker areas are, and also to the back of the bird. Again, lightly soften with a clean, damp brush. I know I tend to exaggerate that, but it's very important. That kind of knocks it back a little bit. So lamp black, French ultramarine and burnt umber. Kind of working out the details of the feathers now, using my 00 brush again. But kind of working out where they all go, picking them out, mapping out the area, and then lightly softening and putting those details in. Looking at the tail feathers, you can see what I've done with that one, and kind of working at one at a time. Take your time with this, there's never any rush. Okay, if you need to have a break, take a break. So working out where all these go, picking it out bit by bit. Then what I'll do with that one, once I've got all those on the top of there, I like to soften those down and then put some additional details over the top. Now you can see I'm working out where they all go. It's a little bit darker in one place just as there. And then picking it out just with the very tip of the brush. Here we go again. So lamp black, burnt umber and French ultramarine. So this is going to be for the darker areas underneath the wings. Now I'm going to go to the back wing now, working my way down towards the tail. Now these are individual little sections, as you can see on there. These are little areas where you've got to take your time with it. It's kind of gradiate some darts of light from the top of the feather all the way down to the bottom. Then working down to the tail feather. Okay, now this one's going to be lamp black, French ultramarine and kind of a burnt umber colour as well within there. I'm kind of mapping it out first. I like to kind of work out where things are going to go before I start putting the colour in there. So add a little bit of burnt umber in there as well, and that's going to kind of give a bit more kind of colour in there. So yellow ochre and raw sienna. So this is going to be the base colour. So the foundation colour we're going to be working on the top of as we go along. And then obviously kind of mapping that in on the back, so you've got something again to work on top of. I mean, obviously you can't build a house until you put the foundations in first. Okay, so working on the belly. So this is going to be like a blacky brown colour. So I've got to wash the colour on the belly first, and then I'm going to let that dry, And once it's dry, come in with the opaque watercolour white. As you can see, what I'm doing here is kind of layering this on bit by bit, looking at the direction that the feathers go in. That is so important. And then obviously when I'm working around towards the bottom of the belly, because the wash up underneath is gradiated, so it's a bit lighter underneath, a little bit of raw sienna on that wash by the way, then obviously it creates that kind of feeling of shape at the same time. So what I'll do once this is all done, all the white is on there, I'll then add a little watercolour over the top of the belly, just to kind of finish that belly off. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing there, and I'm just kind of demonstrating what happens to the watercolour white when we do that. As you can see as well, when you've got the watercolour white on there, you've got to be very careful when you add this layer of paint over the top. You just touch the white once, only once. If you keep going over the same place, you'll end up making the white very muddy. In other words, you pull the white paint off. You don't want to be doing that. So when you put colour over the top of opaque watercolour white, just do it in one fell swoop. Right, so now alizarin crimson and Bensound. Let's make a start on these legs. What I want to do is put a wash of paint on there first, and then start defining, once it's dried, first wash, where the layers go. So working on the outside edges first. I don't like to outline things, as you know, so I'm going to soften those lines as we go along. Then I'm going to work my way down towards the feet as well, so that's kind of intensifying, just kind of making it a little bit darker around the back of the legs. Then when you look at the feet, you've got to look at all the little tiny little areas, little patterns, the little sections within the toes, on the base of the foot as well, underneath. You can just see where it goes underneath the foot. So define where they are first. Once you've got those sections in on the feet, you can then start to add the colour over the top, and then go even darker with a little bit of black added to your colour all the way around, but not all over the foot or the leg, because you don't want it too dark in certain places. So where you see it going darker underneath the foot or on the left hand side of the little sections within each toe, and when you work on the claws, I tend to work on the claws outline first, then fill them in. Then once you've got all them filled in, you can then come back in with a little bit of watercolour white and just highlight those with a touch of watercolour white, which you can see is what I'm doing here right this minute. So the watercolour white kind of helps on there. Right, let's make a start on the woodwork. Here we go. So there's a variety of colours I tend to use. I tend to use whatever colours I've got left in the palette. Alright, so don't go mad on the colours, just go whatever you got left in there. Doesn't really matter, because every piece of wood is going to be obviously different. So wet all the paper first for the wood area anyway, okay, and then once you've got all that wetted down, and wet it 2 or 3 times, because you find it really dries really quick. So I'm going to start off with yellow ochre, drop that colour in first, and then work that into the wet paint. So that's just going to give us a start of the foundation colour, bit of burnt umber over the top, and then once all that's dry, I then come in with a 00 brush with the same colours, and then start putting horizontal lines, squiggly lines. Try and use a shaky hand when you do this. You find that does help as well when you're doing all this detail work for the branch. So when you get to the feet as well, make sure that you put a little bit of dark area underneath the toes, so it gives it like a feeling of like standing on the wood. Otherwise it just feels like it's floating there, doesn't it? So make sure you add those little details in there whilst you're doing it. That's so important. So keep working on the details. The more detail you put in, the more detail you're going to get on the wood. So there you go, that's how to paint a robin in detail using watercolour paints. Now, if you want to paint this all the way through in real time, step by step, on my Patreon channel, which is www.patreon.com/thedevonartist, you'll find this robin painting all the way through completely free. So come and join me, have a go at that one, and that's about 4 hours of real-time video tuition. Remember to like, share, and if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye for now. Hi there, well thank you for watching one of my little videos. And if you want to see anything else, I've got more on here as well. But also, if you have a look at my Patreon channel just there, look, okay, that's the one. Yeah, got it? I'm showing people how to paint step by step using watercolour. So this is using all the finest of details for wildlife in general. So if you want to learn how to paint wildlife in watercolour, then come along and join me on Patreon. So thank you for coming along, and above all, get painting. Bye bye for now.